If you think you work too much to be in shape, or you have to spend endless hours in the gym to see any results, you couldn't be more wrong. I used to think the same thing until I was forced to learn how to optimize my workout and nutrition when I started working in finance. I'm simply too vain, like way too vain, to ever get fat. So it's exactly what I do to stay in shape or working over 70 hours per week. Unless you're obese, like super obese, this will get you into shape in 6 months, guaranteed. Follow along. There are 3 components to staying in shape. All 3 will be covered in this video. The first is the workouts, the second is the nutrition, and the third is the activity level. So first, the workouts. For the workouts, you start doing supersets. Supersets are back-to-back exercises, and you can pick them for opposing muscle groups. So you can do chest and back, hamstrings and quads, triceps and biceps, and shoulders separately. Keep it very simple. If you're doing the chest portion of the exercise of the workout, you're going to do a flat press, an incline press, and a fly. Do it with a dumbbell, with a barbell, with a cable, it doesn't matter. Just pick one, alternate if you want to, it doesn't matter. Do that. If you're doing back, you're going to want to have a vertical pull, like a lat pull down or pull up, and you want to have a horizontal pull. The most important part about training back is that you have to understand your elbow positioning. Anytime you do this, any kind of pull you do in this position, it's going to be for the upper back. Any pull at this position is going to be for the lats, which is going to be the side of it, like the width, right? So the upper back is going to be this portion, the top part of the back, and the lats going to be this part, right? So any motion you do like this, no matter how your hand is, it's going to be mainly for the lats. Any motion you do like this, where you pull like this, it's going to be mainly for the upper back. Anything from here down is going to bias upper back less and less and less until you get to this point where it's going to be basically straight lats. Now to the quads. You can do any type of squat. Doesn't matter if it's the regular squat, pendulum squat, hack squat, Smith machine squat, Bulgarian split squat, whatever kind of squat you like, do that. You can add in a leg extension, right? Extension of the legs. This for both quads and hamstrings, I advise you to do one bilateral and one unilateral exercise. For the hamstrings, you're going to do anything like hip thrusts, you can do lion seated leg curl, you can do good mornings, you can do stiff leg deadlifts, all these things will work. Pick one, your favorite one, do those. And then for the biceps, we just have curls. For the biceps, it's important, you want to have the most stable curl possible for the best growth. So anything that's going to be like a preacher curl, it's going to be the best for you for the biceps. I like to do one hammer and one regular curl. So just pick your 2 favorite curls. If it's with the easy bar, cable curl. Now for the triceps, you want to have a push down in it for sure, and some type of overhead extension. It can be with a dumbbell like this, or like one arm. Shoulders, similar again. I don't really train the front delts, to be honest, because in most of my pressing, you use the front delts anyway, so I don't really train front delts that much. But if you want to train front delts, it's going to be the regular shoulder press. Any that kind of front delt raise can be the front delts, any kind of side raise can be side delts. For the rear delts, back of the shoulder muscle, which is going to be usually most people's weak points. You want to use either the reverse pec deck or you want to use face pulls. Those 2 usually are more than enough to get your rear delts to where it's supposed to be. And like a kind of like overhead press, that should be more than enough for the triceps. For all the exercises, like I said earlier, you can pick between barbell, dumbbell, and cables. They all work similar. If I were you, I'll pick the cables over the dumbbells in most cases because they have a better resistance profile. That's why I prefer cables over like free weights in most cases. You can do the first exercise for 3 sets, second exercise for 2 sets, and last exercise for 1 set. So you can do 3 sets, 2 sets, 1 set. There's going to be 6 sets in total. That's going to be it. Now you have all the workouts you need to do, and all you can do is basically cycle through them. You can pick 3 out of the 4 muscle pairs for each workout. You can pick the quads and the hamstrings, the triceps and the biceps, the chest and the back, or the shoulders. Pick 3. And then you're going to cycle through them for each workout. If you do 3 workouts, you should work each muscle group twice per week because you do only 3 per day. You should do the first muscle group for 3 sets, the second muscle group for 2 sets, and the last muscle group for 1 set. That's going to be 6 sets for your workout. That's going to be less than 45 minutes in the gym, guaranteed. But it's going to have you in the gym for less than 3 hours per week. What I used to do, I work out on the weekends and have 1 day during the week, usually on Wednesdays, where I work out. So I'll go leave the office a little bit earlier on Tuesdays and then be able to wake up earlier on Wednesdays to workout. That's how I used to do it. Next, we got the nutrition. Here is the biggest hack if you work in a job. We all know that when you go to the office, there's always snacks laying everywhere. Like there's always somebody's there with some donuts, or somebody's birthday is there with a cake, or someone has this and that, bits and bobs. Some random things are always laying around the office. Some sandwiches that you're not supposed to be eating. So here's the hack. You're going to start telling your coworkers you don't eat sweets anymore. The reason it works is because, at least if you're like me, you're just simply too prideful to have somebody else build respect for you over your own actions. The potential of social judgment is going to force you to not eat the snacks anymore because you will be worried about your coworkers catching you eating that snack. By doing this, you're using social pressures in your favor to keep you on track. Then the next one is eating carbs in the morning is the worst you can do for your diet if you want to prevent yourself from snacking and eating nonsense throughout the day. Because by eating carbs, you actually become more hungry and you crave carbs even more. And guess what most snacks are? They're carbs, exactly. By delaying your carbs until the end of the day, you're able to, for one, force yourself to eat more protein because what else are you going to eat, right? They're only carbs, fats, and protein, right? What are you going to eat? Mostly protein, right? By delaying your carbs at the end of the day, you make sure to actually eat satiating food and you're able to crave carbohydrates way less. This includes fruits as well. The only exception from this is actually vegetables. That also goes into the next point, which is Meat and veg are your friend. I will say it again, meat and veg are your friend. Just eat a meat and vegetable bowl. Pick your favorite vegetable, any vegetable you like, pick that and eat it. Ideally, you're going to pick vegetables with different coloring because they're going to have more variety of nutrients in them, so that would be better for you. But either way, find some vegetables you like and eat them with meat. Eat mostly meat and vegetable bowls, or like eggs, for example, too. Like you can eat meat and vegetable bowls or eggs, and then eat that for all your meals until you eat dinner, where you can actually have your carbs and fruits and whatever else. Next one is that you want to focus on solely eating whole foods. What are whole foods? Whole foods are real food, like things that actually are nature. Those are whole foods, things you can actually find out in nature. It's hard to overeat when you eat the whole foods. It's hard to eat like 3,000 calories of whole foods if your body requires like 2,000 calories, for example. It's easy to overeat on junk food. It's very easy. So if you need to eat 2,000 calories, 3,000 calories, right, try to get most of them from actual whole foods because you can actually feel full, which can make it last. That's why I told you this earlier with the vegetables. Vegetables are very filling, high in fiber, low in calories. It's like the best of both worlds. Don't have vegetables, please just grow up. Thank you very much. Eat the vegetables right there. Gonna be very filling, low in calories, win-win. Do that. This is the next little smaller hack. If you're really hungry, the biggest thing I can tell you is to drink some sparkling water. Sparkling water is the goat. If you don't like it, grow up. But sparkling water literally keeps you feeling fuller. It's not going to actually fill you up, but it's going to make you feel full. By feeling full, you'll be able to hold off hunger for longer. To the last point, your activity level. This is going to be the biggest issue for most people because I saw a study recently that said that essentially our metabolism doesn't actually slow down in older age until you get to like 60, which means you don't get bigger because of your slow metabolism. You got fat because you started moving less. And usually, right, you were working office jobs and stuff now, of course, you're going to move less if you're not an athlete. If you work an office job, this is the easiest way I figured out to actually move more while you're working a regular job. First one's going to be you want to start walking during your lunch break. Instead of going to the cafeteria, you're going to go outside, you're going to walk for half an hour.
Oh no, I messed up all the gossip and become a social pariah.
Who cares? You're going to be sexy. You're going to be sexy. What do you care more about? Gossip or being sexy? Exactly. This is an easy trade-off, man. This is an easy trade-off. Would you rather be sexy or listen to gossip all day long? If you are a man, this should be a very easy decision, right? Obviously, sexy. When you're going to eat lunch, you're going to eat lunch at your desk. Okay, while you're working, you're going to eat your lunch. You're going to work and eat your lunch. Work and do your lunch. That's how you can do it, okay? You're going to eat your lunch while working. I know it's a crazy concept, but this is what you're going to do. You're going to use your lunch break to move. And when you're at work, you're going to eat and work. Boom. That's it. Now you're already walking through your lunch. Kudos to you. Then the next one is get a desk treadmill. Under your desk, where's mine at? I can't show you. It's down here somewhere. Right? Get a desk treadmill and then just walk. Do it on the lowest setting if you want to. Just walk the other day. Couple hours a day, 1-2 hours, then you can go back to just being lazy and sitting down. Cool. So what I usually do is when I have home office, I use the desk treadmill. And then when I'm in the office, I actually just stand at my desk most of the day. Setting also burns more calories. I looked it up just to make sure it's correct. And you actually save your posture. So if you plan on working a job in the corporate world for the long term, you want to save your posture anyways. That was the hack. The try my understanding was the actual hack I was talking about earlier. Now the last thing you should do is, depending on how tall your office building is, you should stop using elevators. If you're super lazy and you hate walking and you want to be lazy and you want to be lazy and still lose weight or whatever, then the easiest thing you can do is never ride the elevator down, right? You can walk downstairs. Like walking down is easier than walking up. So if you say, I can't walk up, it's too much cardio, whatever, cool. Just always tell yourself at least you walk down. So if you have to go from the 7th floor to the 6th floor, 7th floor to the 3rd floor, whatever, you can at least walk it because it's downwards. So it's easier to walk anyway. So do that, right? Any opportunity you have to walk more, use that because it's going to add up to your calorie total for the day. That was it. This will get you into shape in 6 months, guaranteed. 6 months, that's 26 weeks. That's literally 78 workouts. That's nothing. 78 workouts between you, look the way you look right now, and being sexy. That is nothing, bro. Get sexy, please. What are you doing, man? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, man. Till next time.